Yes. All right. Hello, everybody. We are here for another. We are here for another installment. We got to find a cute, kitschy name for this. One day. That won't be today. Anyway, we're here to do another video just to help everybody, parents and students especially, as we day by day get through all of the changes with COVID-19. We hope everybody is safe and healthy and remain safe and healthy through everything. I am Miss Moody, one of the owners of M&M, and we have with us
Hinton from M&M.
And I'm Shamelle Ingram from Keys to College.
Yes, I'm so excited. And today, if you couldn't tell already, we are talking about all things college prep. So excited. Please, I need everybody out there to get a pen, pencil, your tablet, your phone, whatever you need to take notes. Because we're going to get down and dirty, because information is very powerful if you act on it. I'm not going to preach, but I could.
So true, so true.
So, Ms. Ingram, can you give us some of your background and more information about your business?
Yes, I'd love to. So again, my name is Shamelle Ingram, and I'm very passionate about college access. I have been either a college counselor or a school counselor for the past 10 years. I started my career at Hillside and Southern High Schools in Durham, where I first met these wonderful women business owners of M&M Tutoring. And I never left education ever since I started. And I've worked in public school. I currently am in a private school, but I do Keys to College also in addition to my full-time job. Because I realized that there was just a lot of people that I wasn't getting a chance to touch. And there's a lot of information out there that I would love to share. And I realized people are making uninformed decisions just because they have a lack of information. So that's why I'm here. So thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
We're so excited. And I guess I should introduce M&M for people who don't know. We are pretty much a teacher-led, student-centered, community-minded tutoring and academic services company. That was well put.
That was.
That was good.
Write it down.
Thank you. That is who we are. As Ms. Ingram said, we met her at Hillside, and both of us, Mrs. Hinton and myself, have been teaching long enough for us to lose count, which I have. But we love what we do. And we love making sure that students and parents are informed, which is why we are here today. So thank you again, Ms. Ingram, for being here.
I am honored to be in your presence, both National Board Certified Teachers.
No, she is throwing out credentials, which I don't mind, because that was a lot of work, and we earned it.
Right, I saw how much work.
That's a conversation. We can do a video for that by itself. So today, via our previous conversations, we have about 5 or 6 main topics that you wanted to discuss, and we are all ears, and we are so excited. So the first thing you said you wanted to talk about was preparation.
Yes.
In regards to starting early. So please, yes, give us all the nuggets of wisdom.
Absolutely. So I started out, of course, in the high school setting, and I thought that, great, these students are going to be prepared to go to college. And I realized that the college preparation definitely does not start just in high school. Then I thought, okay, it starts in middle school. And I always wondered, what is the reason why people have these career fairs in elementary school? Like, they don't know what's going on, but they do. And so early action and early intervention is so important, even starting in elementary school, so that children can see what kind of careers do they want to get into. Well, what education does it take to get into that career? If you want to be a pediatrician, you definitely must go to undergrad and medical school. So those are early seeds to get planted. So it's so necessary to start as early as you can to prepare, just because the world is so competitive, and it's way more competitive than your community or your school. So in elementary school, it can just be going to a homecoming, it doesn't have to be anything too serious per se, But, you know, if you're driving in a car, oh, that's North Carolina Central University. Look at those college students. So, you know, just pointing things out. In middle school, it gets a little more, you know, focused on the grades, especially on the math and the reading.
Say it again. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Especially math and reading in middle school for sure. I mean, elementary also, but when you're focusing on grades, those are definitely two indicators for college readiness. And then when you get to high school, that high school transition from 8th to 9th grade is so critical. Again, early preparation, colleges do look at 9th grade grades. So making sure that even down to your schedule, talking to your school counselor, if you know, hey, I think I can do this honors class, because some students fall between the cracks. You need to get, if you believe that you can, you know, handle honors classes, get that on your schedule in your 9th grade year, because that helps to set the foundation for years after that, as far as preparing for college. So you can never start too early.
That can be the whole video right there.
I really can.
And of course, we can certainly understand that we've taught both middle and high school, each of us. So we've seen what it's like to teach students through that transition, and then before and after they make the transition. And it really hurt, it hurt our heart to see students and parents struggle so much, just because, like you said, they didn't have that information. They didn't, I've had freshmen tell me that they've had teachers and other people in their community tell them that 9th grade didn't count. And so that completely opened my eyes to why they weren't taking my class or any of the classes seriously, because they thought 9th grade was just playtime. It was just practice.
Right.
And when they started realizing that, no, you started your GPA count and you're sending all this off to colleges, then all of a sudden they were trying to make up classes and make up credit. And it just didn't need to be that way. So I'm glad you said that in particular, because, you know, like you said, the 8th to 9th grade year transition, woo!
It's an eye-opening experience. It really is. And like you said, you know, when they're misinformed, you know, it really sets them up for failure, because they're spending the next 3 years in high school trying to dig themselves out of the hole. So starting early, definitely agree. It really is extremely important, and really hoping that students begin to understand the necessity and importance of that.
And also, you were speaking to the competition, and I'm not a college prep expert, but I know, I'm sure we all three have had those conversations with parents, trying to help them understand you're going through a global competition, depending on the school that you apply to. It's not just, like you said, it's not just your community. It's not just your state. You're applying with people who might even live in the country that have been trying to get into the school since they were 5, and you just decided you want to do it yesterday. That's a totally different type of application. And it's hard to have those conversations sometimes, and I can imagine you've encountered this. It's hard to have those honest conversations with parents and students, because sometimes it can feel kind of hopeless when you're being honest with them and saying, you know, well, this is really where you are versus where you want to be. But again, like you said, when you get the information, you just have to accept it and then figure out what you can do. You know?
Exactly. Right. And the grades are also tied into scholarship money. So a lot of colleges, whether it's Norfolk State, NC State, whatever, a lot of times they will give a scholarship if you have a 3.0, or I'm just giving an example, 3.5. The higher you might have a presidential scholarship. The higher your GPA, the more scholarship money that you can get. And even outside scholarships will have a lot of times a GPA requirement. So GPA is not just to get into college per se, because you might get in, but then what about the money too? You need funding.
There's really no way to. That's it. And even, again, that discussion, I think a lot of students start high school, unless they've taken kind of a high school credit class before then, they start high school not really knowing what that means. They just know suddenly they have a transcript and they have a GPA. And to be quite honest, as much as, and this is also something we tell parents, as much as we still want to say, well, counselors need to do this, that, and the other, counselors have hundreds of students on their caseload. And we literally are telling parents this all the time. You're going to have to be more assertive, and you're going to have to be the one, in some cases, to initiate certain conversations. Because I don't think people understand how much counselors have on their plate. And we're saying this as teachers. So I'm not even saying that as a counselor. I'm just saying from the interactions we've had with counselors, it's a lot to balance in trying to educate students on, okay, this is what high school now means.
Exactly.